Hello and welcome to session 9 of Gentle Yoga, Yoga with Laura Ashland. Again, thank you for subscribing and viewing and following along with me whenever you can to do the yoga. Today we're going to start with our feet instead of crossed today. We're going to go ahead and bring our feet together in what we practiced yesterday, which was the bound angle posture. I'd like you to just bring the balls of the feet together, heel of the foot together. Spread those toes out just a little bit. Hold at the ankles or the toes, or maybe you're still holding just below the kneecaps. This is fine. Okay. Just kind of rocking and stretching a little bit, maybe leaning in. And coming back to seated. Nice lifted spine. And then as you're exhaling, stretching out the low back. And one more time, inhaling as you come back to the floating. Exhale as you begin to lean into the stretch here of these adductor muscles. And then replacing your feet back into the Sukhasana or easy seated posture. Maybe that's a little bit easier for you once that stretch was introduced, to sit nice and comfortable at the base of the body. Taking one hand at the diaphragm and your other hand at the heart. It doesn't matter which hand is where, and just kind of hold yourself for a moment and let your day go and bring yourself to the present moment. Relax your face. Begin by breathing naturally, and then over time, your breath will begin to expand. Feeling the power of that diaphragmatic breathing. The source and the engine is in the diaphragm. Relax your shoulders. Lift through your skull and your spine. And once again, we're going to practice the baby's breath or the crying breath. You often hear me do it because I'm speaking words and trying to breathe at the same time. So I will put in sips and then control that beautiful exhale. Of course, it's naturally twice as long as your inhale. So let's practice just a few rounds of the baby's breath. Again, through the nostrils, or exhale through the mouth. Little mini fire belly breathing with that sipping, and then exhale, press. You can certainly keep your eyes closed during your practice, or you can keep them open. Hopefully my guided words will help you most of the time. Of course, we're looking up at the TV or your iPad or your phone. Today we're going to take the arms out, and I'm going to cross my right over the left. We're going to do an upward Garuda, or the eagle twist. But I'm going to take that right arm over above the line of the elbow. And then as I fold at the elbow, I'm either going to bring my hands palm to palm, wrap, or just back of palm, or back of hand, excuse me, to the back of hand. So anything that works here for you. As you inhale, this time we're going to take our Garuda arms off to that right ear. Exhale as you return. 2 more. Inhale off to the right ear. Exhale, return. Inhale, pick it up, open the rib cage to the back of that right ear. Exhale, return. Taking it to the other side. Inhale, past the left ear. Very different here, right? Feels very different. Just go with it, stay with it. Inhale as you take it to the back of the left ear. Exhale as you bring it forward. And last one. Inhale as you take it out to the left ear or beyond. Exhale, take it back. Now I'm going to turn my palms to face my nose and just repeat the steps. How I got in is how I'll go out. So I want to open up the arms, cross high, shoulder height, undo the crossing of the arms, and then just gently retract the elbows to the rib cage. This is especially important for people that have any kind of tightness, frozen shoulder, rotocuff issue. We don't want to get into this bind or these internal, external twist with the shoulder and then not come out of them safely. It's all about safety too in our practice. Other side, this time I'm going to take the left arm up and over the crease of that right elbow, face my palms to the nose, and I may just simply back of hand to back of hand. I might come around to the front, or I might decide to go the other way and corkscrew around palm to palm. Whichever feels good for you, whichever gives you a good bind. This is great for stretching open the back shoulder area all along the rhomboid and the trap of the back of the body. And again, let's take it to the right. Inhale as we go out. Exhale to return. Inhale, take it out. Notice a little bit of shorter range here. One more time. Inhale, go out. Exhale, return your breath. Inhale, take it to the left. Much more open range here. Just has to do with which arm is ahead. Inhale, take it out. Exhale, take it back. This is excellent hand-eye coordination. Following the view, even in the mind's eye. Turning my hands toward my nose. Opening. Uncrossing. Wiggle a little bit here, loosen up some of the tension. This is muscular tension that's created, not emotional tension, we hope. Okay? Retracting the elbows. Now we'll take a little true hand-eye coordination. I'm going to take my thumb out as high as either the tip of the nose, or I could even bring it up to the height of the eye. And we're going to take it out 3 times on each side. Breathe as you follow your thumbnail. Focus on your thumbnail or the wrinkle in the skin or a ring on your finger, or if you have paint, a color of the nail. So inhale as you follow out the thumb. Any amount in the range is good. Taking that nice look into the corner of the eye. Exhale as you return. This is great focus and also excellent to prepare meditation. This is the hand, thumb, drishti, Ajna, Grata. One more as you inhale out. Exhale as you return. And each time, taking a little bit farther and farther of your range. I could even follow that thumb down, follow the thumb to my thigh, and replace my hand. Other side when you're ready. Inhale. Exhale, follow back. Inhale, follow it out. Maybe another ½ inch or an inch farther each time. And last one. Lowering down, following the thumb over to the thigh. Palms are up here. Today we're going to practice just one hand mudra. Mudra means a seal. And when we seal the extremities of our body, seal the base of the body, seal the extremities and the fingers, it creates this wonderful union of the body. So this is a very simple one. You've seen it a million times. It's called Chin Mudra. And it's simply just your index finger and your thumb pressing the pad together here and flaring out. You want to wake up those 3 fingers as you open. So this is Chin Mudra. It's wonderful for concentration, bringing circulation into the body, and hence a better quality of life. Couple of more breaths. Releasing the mudra, just let the hands be open, maybe shake them out a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and turn to the side and straighten out these legs. We're going to work on opening up the low back a little bit today. And then we're also going to be going through a little bit of lunges, all the different levels of lunges to open up our hips. So of course you may have a strap if you wish. Again, I'm just using an old Taekwondo belt, or a bathrobe, a yoga strap. And today, we're just going to go ahead and take the strap around one of the feet. I'm going to move my left foot out of the way, and again, it could be any range from 0 to 90 degrees, or if you're using kind of a mental image of a clock, from noon till 9 o'clock here. Now what I want to do is continue to bring my elbows close to the body. That squeezing, a little bit of hugging presses my spine up, right? This is all energy. This is physics, that if this is squeezing, what's the reaction to that would be to lift. So we want a little bit of squeezing with the elbows, a big inhale, and as you exhale, pressing the back of the leg and gently lowering, there goes the head. Inhale away from that stretch. Exhale toward the stretch. And again, any of these ranges are fine. Here, here, here. If you find the shoulders start to round out because they're compensating for the tight hamstrings, then that's about where you would stop right there at that range. As soon as the back is rounding, we begin to compromise the spine. A couple more. Inhale away from the stretch. Exhale toward. Inhale away from the stretch. You don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. Just go back a little bit. So for the next 30 seconds or so, find the stretch that is intensifying, but you feel safe and comfortable. Pressing that sit bone and ground the leg into the mat as you rise the spine up. Now, if this was overly taxed for you're trying to get there, you can always bend that knee and bring it in a little bit. Come on either side of the knee here and come forward here. So that's the modification. Always there's a modification. Okay, very nice. And we'll switch sides. Working on these hands a little bit, getting ready for our lunges. And I'm placing my strap around the ball of the foot, never the toe stems, they're kind of tender. And the arc where the tendons are, also very tender, that's that plantar fasciitis. And we don't want to inflame the tendons back there. You could do the heel. It's another good one. The heel and the ball are very secure. This also will help you flex your foot a little bit, which will create this wonderful stretch in the back of the leg, contracting the muscles in the top of the leg and lifting up the top half of the leg, but grounding and stretching the bottom or the back half of the leg. Okay, so we'll just do 3. And again, this leg can be any range, again, between 12 and 3. Inhale. Exhale toward the stretch. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, come toward the stretch. Maybe making it a little deeper and further each time. And if not, that's okay too. Pressing back with the elbows, pressing back with the shoulders. And allowing your head to come to a resting point, the head arrives last. The head with 4 senses and all its ego wants to lead your practice. And we want our head, our skull face to be humble in the practice and arrive last in the postures, or last to gaze to the sky, or last to look down toward the earth. Okay? If I move too far forward and I brought my shoulders in here, I'm already starting the rounded shoulder syndrome, and I've already started that hunch in my spine. So I'm really careful to bring these elbows next to the ribs. Hold carefully here. Not so much of a death grip. It just can be a very gentle holding. If your hands are soft, the rest of the body feels very soft too. Here. And back up. Good. So keeping this nice line. Very nice. We're going to draw 2 now, both legs together. A little bit more intense. Move around a little bit and work the ankles. Remember, they rotate both directions, but they're not as powerful in a rotation as they are in a point and in a flex. Okay. Super strong flexion ignites my entire leg, both front and back. Pointing makes it pretty. That's a dancer move. right? It gives you a longer leg. It gives you a very stretched open top and a contracted top and a stretched open back. But we want, mostly in our practice, to have a nice flexion of the ankle, igniting the legs. Here we go. We'll just do 3. Setting it up, making sure your strap is even. Sometimes long-legged people do require a little longer strap. Just making sure my elbows are right at the ribs. I don't want to be here. Shortening it up. I don't want to be way back either. Just that nice Dandasana, staff pose style, elbows at the ribs. Big inhale, prepare. Exhale, come forward as I'm pressing my elbows to stay with the rib cage. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, come up. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, come up. Very nice. Now that was a lot of 90-degree and of course flexion in the low back. So wouldn't it feel good to reach back, kind of hammock a little bit of the belly, even nice arc here, just to set your spine in the opposite direction. Nice extension. Pressing my hands down into the mat, rolling through the ball of my hand and the fingertips, brought my spine ahead. And then just balancing my hands on my lap in Dandasana. We're going to go ahead and flip ourselves to our hands and knees. And we're going to do 2 lunges today and kind of stretching these hips open a little bit, getting these hips a little looser, and of course working the back of the hamstrings. And I want you to have blocks today, and you will walk back with your blocks. Okay? So at first, we will go ahead and start with, I'm going to lower my block a little bit here. We will start with hands and knees. We'll take out that right foot. I may just pick it up and bring it to the inside of the block. Again, if you need to be higher or higher, all of these heights are fine for you. You could have a very long shin and very short arms. So you adjust your block that feels right for you. So this first little kind of prince lunge, I'm pressing my back foot down, my back shin. If I can get the shin bar all the way down, I'm going to use that as balance. And I'm going to press down on that right leg and inhale and come here to this upright 90 degree. Just about every joint is at 90 degree. Okay? Exhale as you lower. Inhale as you straighten the arms and press to the back. You'll definitely feel a nice stretch in the quad on the left side. Big breath. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower all the way down, bringing the hands to the block again if you need it. If you don't need the blocks, just return the blocks away and put your hand right on the mat. Okay? Now this time I'm going to lean my knee over the ankle so that it will free up my back foot to flip to the toes, and then I'm going to take that kneecap back just about 3 to 4 inches back. It was controlled by my foot. Now I'm going to replace that shin bar back down, This time inhaling, I get much more of a crescent stretch here in the left side of the body. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, press away with the palm. Lengthen the arms, straighten the elbows if possible. Get that nice stretch in the hip flexor of the right leg. Exhale, lowering. Holding onto the blocks, flipping my toes, coming forward a little bit, bringing that knee right underneath me. And then right foot goes to the back foot. And here I might want to rest a little bit into child's pose. Other side, taking out the left foot, bringing it up inside the block. Inhale as I press up. Exhale as I lower. Now you may certainly hold your blocks, hand on thigh, or maybe airplane arms behind you is also very fine. Again, all those multi positions for the arms always makes for an interesting practice. And the shoulders get a great range. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press up. And one more time. Exhale, lower. And I just did a variety with my arms. You do with what works for you. Maybe holding here in balance is a good challenge for you. So hang out here for a little bit. Now holding the blocks, I'm going to inhale, lean my left knee over the left ankle offline, flip my toe, pick up the knee, but press back with that kneecap just a little bit. And you could also have a blanket or something under that knee. Replace the top of my foot back onto the mat. Inhale as I press up. Exhale, lower. Noticing I'm not lowering the knee forward, I'm lowering the hip girdle down. Inhale, come back up. Have those blocks anywhere that you need to attach to them. Watch that the back of the foot does not sickle. Knock-kneed people will have a sickled foot, so trying to keep the plate of your foot as straight as possible. Exhale as you're lowering. This is crescent lunge, or Anjaneyasana, Anja. Putting my hands at the blocks, leaning a little bit, flipping my foot, and then bringing the knee more under my hip rather than press back. We'll visit this lunge again, and back. Exhale as you come to child's pose, and this is another good way to do child's pose. Blocks feel terrific. They can be under your head. They can be straight out. They can be together. Different heights. Now, inhale, come to all fours. And we're going to take the lunging just a little bit deeper. Do what you can. Don't worry about going too far. So I'm going to go ahead and take that left leg to the inside of the left block. And I'm going to turn my blocks a little higher for me. I want to raise them up a little bit. So I'm going to walk my blocks back and sit back on one folded leg. So it looks like hero's pose, just one side. Lengthening the front. And if you wish, you could exhale and come forward. But that's if you wish to come forward. Now I'm going to press up on the shin of my right leg. Press up. Use the blocks. Come forward. Walk again and into a little bit deeper stretch here. I had to scooch back just a little bit to make sure I had space. If I don't get space to the back, this knee is going to come over the ankle. 2 more. We're going to walk it back. Use your blocks. Any amount of lowering here, and you could also slip I'm full of props today. You could also slip something under the leg here. No problem. I'll just walk right through it. I won't even disturb it. See that? That feels so good. Back again. Use your blocks. Let your hands guide you back in control. I brought my toes up. I dug my heel in. This is protecting the back of the knee if that's too much stretch back there. Some people will go all the way to the mat. Some people, this is quite a hamstring stretch for them. Now press back down with my back leg, leaning. This is the foot energy bringing me forward, gathering my blocks with me, and coming to a nice stretch here. Back to neutral. We'll go ahead and remove this bolster, and we have the other side. Take it out to the side or straight through, whichever works for you. Take your time. You're at home. No rush. I'm going to step out just a little bit so I've got that nice open to the back. I want to test it maybe and make sure that that becomes the crescent lunge. This is a deep hip stretch here, but I don't want my knee to be too far over the ankle. Now you can see it. I've removed the block. Okay, so set your piece up first, and then there goes my toes in the air. My heel driving down helps this energy to walk back. There go the blocks. If you wish to come a little bit more forward, you may. Back up again. Energy of the right foot coming forward. And stretch. Inhale, pick it up, walk it back. Dig that heel in. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, coming up. Press, squeeze that back leg. You have to get a little inertia going. There's the sickled foot. Maybe you can see that back there. That's that turning foot. A lot of folks will do that. I want to try to keep that foot as straight as possible so that the shin bone is in line with the top plate of the foot. This is a wonderful, deep hip stretch. Without the blocks, I'm still pressing using my hands. Wait till it sits in. Be very careful of that left knee. If that's too much, you don't go down as far. You might be rising just to here. And that's enough of a stretch right here. Okay, you might have a bigger pillow here or a bolster here. That's as far as you go. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. There's nothing special about the floor. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and press up. And I'm going to come into what is a pyramid pose. Pyramid pose, both feet are straight ahead. So my toe line is short line, parallel. My heel is back. I'm not turning my foot. I'm going to work my way toward getting that heel from under the hip to parallel to the floor. Again, the blocks come in very handy here. This is Paschimma, which is the west side of the body coming forward. Paschimma, and it is also a pyramid pose in regular simple language. Also intense side stretch pose, because you can really feel this stretch here. Again, bend that knee if you need to. Inhale as we look up. Exhale, come toward the leg, any amount, whatever works. That's why we did those little warm-ups in the very beginning with getting the hamstrings stretched out in Dandasana or staff pose. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower. Now to show you the height of these blocks, this is the lowest. This is the next lowest. That brought me up fairly well. My spine really likes that. Okay? This is really nice. Ooh, you could hang out in this forever. There my spine is parallel, approximately parallel to the floor. Again, it's not important that the spine collapses. Okay? That's not important. Those of you that wish not to have blocks and the hands are here, this is fine. Out to the side is fine. To the back, fingers to the back, fine. That's your deepest, most intense stretch. But that's quite a stretch on the hamstrings, and I really don't think my back is getting very strong. I think it just is making my legs happy to stretch and getting those endorphins from the stretch. This is less stretch in the leg. This is more power for me. I need this stability in the power. Inhale, bend the front knee, bend the back knee, and just step up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, about halfway up. Ardha means halfway. Okay? And then we'll just switch sides. So I'm not really wide open way back here. I've got my foot until it is comfortably with the heel down. Okay? I have long legs, so it seems like it's very far. But for me, I'm thinking that's only about 3 feet from my heel, the diagonal line to the toe. Don't want to be here. I don't even know what that is. That's gymnastics. That's balance beam. We want to open it up and take it to the side. If you're here for balance, that's not a problem. But eventually you want to pick up that heel, turn on the ball of the foot, and work the Achilles tendon until it sits nice and snug and evenly. It's protecting the knee. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bending the elbows brought me toward the leg. Inhale, look up. Let's try a different height of block. Exhale, bend the elbows, brought me toward the leg. Inhale, look up. And I'm just flipping. Of course, you're not going to do all this flipping. You're just going to find what works for you. Exhale toward the leg. Intense side stretch. And yes, it is. So if it's too much, hyperextension will slap that leg back. I try to have a mini micro bend and bring my knee up nice and tight. Some people even bend that leg. There's no problem to bend that leg. Without the blocks, if you so choose, hands were here. Hands out to the side, almost in a tripod. That's also very nice. Or fingertips to the back. This is your most intense stretch because I'm sliding my mat this way with the palm of my hand, which brings me a little bit more intense in the hamstring here. Again, that's an endorphin for the flexi people. My best one is higher, spine up, and holding here, bending that micro in the knee. And holding, that's power for me. Inhale as you bend that front knee. I unlock it or loosen it somewhere. So I'm going to bend that front knee, bend the back leg. I will remove the blocks and step back and even both legs out. Just a moment of the down dog. Inhale as I come over the wrists, Exhale as I use my toes to direct the knees down. That way they come down like kind of eggshells, right? You have to think that they're a raw egg, your kneecaps, and you want to gently put them down, not plunk them down. So that's all coming from the control of the foot. Walking the hands back to the knees. And coming again to hero's pose. And just allowing a lot of the shoulder that was inverted and the head that was inverted in pyramid pose. Now the shoulders get to be back to their normal staging and the head comes up. Just feels good to get the blood flow going in opposite direction if it was down too much. Don't spend a lot of time in inversions if they get you dizzy, right? Breathe through those dizzy moments and don't spend a long time there at all. Listen to your body. Stop anytime you need to. And our last piece today will be 2 twists. So I will shift my hip off to the side, swing my legs to the front of the mat. Again, remember the floating, remember the crab, heel, hands, and my hips. Never do the scooching along the mat to hurt the sacral area or the lumbar area. I'm always floating my spine as much as possible. So very nice twisting today. And if you need to sit on a bolster to raise your hips up, please do. We'll first go to the left. We're going to bring in that left foot. I want to be more onto the sit bones. If I bring my foot back to me, there I go. Your spine was very polite and made space for your leg to get in there. So we don't really want that spine to be tilted this far back in a twist. I would rather lift and kind of play a little bit on the tops of the sit bones and come a little bit more forward. You could also, if this is too much fold, there's nothing wrong with having your ankle next to the knee or your ankle next to the ankle. These are all great twists. Here. Or a little closer. Okay? This challenges my core to lift into something that's stopping me. This also gives me almost 3 spines. This is a spine. My femoral bone is a spine. That's 2. And then the tibia and fibula, they become the 3rd spine. So I've got this great support system for this twist. First, we're going to go around that femoral bone. So I'm only working the lumbar here. I may place my hand behind me. I may round for just a moment to get the crook of the arm over that shin, but then I'm going to replace that spine by lifting. I don't want to continue the rounding, so lifting. Flex that right foot, ground the right leg, spread the right toes, and working your way toward the shoulders becoming 180. Again, this is all a process. Take your time, but spiraling in your twist from the lumbar sacral area upward. So it's a reverse staircase. It's going up the spine. So here comes the thoracic spine. Once I feel fairly secure, and this is all in place, make your adjustments. Then I turn the cervical bones or my neck bones to the back. Now maybe I'm here, or here, or here, or here. Where is comfortable for you? Stop where you need to stop, because it's all about being comfortable. A lot of people say, oh, let's get uncomfortable in yoga. That's not the type of practice that I teach or that I practice personally. I like to feel yummy when I'm working. Hand can be way out, close to the hip, which would push me a little more into that thigh. A little less of breath there. So I'm kind of impinging my lungs. Now, very first movement here Inhale as just my skull gazes around. Follow me here. So I brought my eyesight from the short back line of the mat to the front back line of the mat. We're not an owl, we can't do a 360, but I think the most range for the cervical spine is a 180 safely. Now I'm going to bring my shoulders around. So here comes the ribbed spine. The most mobile of the spine work is rib cage, shoulders, and then I deepen down as I spiral back down to the lumbar and the sacral plate. Maybe just having a nice counter turn here. It almost takes a half of a counter turn to get that energy down into the lumbar. And it's kind of swinging back to neutral. One of the best things for a beautiful deep rotation, such as this, or a twist, is to either come forward to stretch out the low back, or certainly opposite, extend it, wiggle, move. And the other side. Up comes that right leg. Again, ankle, knee. We're a little bit closer to the sit bones, but I do want to make sure that I've maneuvered myself in slightly scoochy, not too scoochy on the spine, but scoochy on the sit bones. Placing that leg wherever it is comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and round, crook the shoulder here for just a moment. Then I'm going to press away with that thigh, bring back my belly around the femoral area here, and that brought that stopped this hunching. It brought that spine a little straighter. Flexion of the left foot, spreading of the left toes, grounding of the left leg. That's the stability so that we can create this incredible mobility now to the right side. Okay. First, I'm going to make sure that the lumbar and now the thoracic are situated and they're happy. It's all about happy. Shoulder, short line. Shoulder, short line, if possible. Maybe this is you. It's all good. Then when I'm ready, I'm going to complete another inhale and take out the gaze. My eyes will lead my skull. Always work on lengthening your range of motion. But it's a little at a time, moment by moment. The beauty of this practice is being in this moment, right here, right now. This is your reality. This is what we really have. Soft belly breath. Relax your face. On the next inhale, lift the spine. Lift your eyebrows. They kind of lifted my muscles in my face and my skin on my skull as I float back, eye level, 180. Here comes the shoulders, thoracic spine. They're just beginning to hit neutral here. And as I shift my arm to the back, inside goes my right arm. Then I even begin to explore the counter rotation of the lumbars and the sacral plate. That's the counteraction as I float to the center, again to neutralize the spine as the buoyancy comes back to center. Feels so good. Big inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. It feels really good to go ahead and have this nice flexion in the low back. There's not a lot of muscles here. It's very tendony. They look like fettuccine straps. They're mostly tendon. There's the QLs here on either side, but in the middle of the spine, it's mostly tendon, ligament to the bone, nerves. Very delicate here. Met at the sacral plate, which is triangular shaped bone, and the Latin is sacral, sacred. It's a very special place. Placing your hands at your sides, opening the heels, pressing the heels and pressing my hands, lifting my hips forward. Exhale as I practice core work coming down. There's the cat. And this time, let's bring the arms up over the head a little bit and just kind of climb that invisible ladder, shifting your hips right and left, shifting the shoulders right and left. Move almost like you're kind of swimming in water. You're on your back. And bringing your hands to the side body. Let your feet fall off out the edges. Keep the plumb line in the body. Middle of the forehead, tip of the nose, line of the lip, chin, sternum, belly button, pubic bone. And let right and left fall off to the sides. Relax your face, the muscles in your cheeks. Soften your tongue and your teeth. Unhinge your jaw. Lie here. Right here, right now. Right here. Right now. Right here. Right now. Grounded. Peace. Namaste.